Very funny young man just moved here from Washington, D.C. Please give it up for Jesse Baltes, everybody.
What's going on? How you guys doing? You guys like jokes? You're in the wrong place, because I'm going to tell some. Dave sent us an email, they're recording this and stuff, and he was like, it has to be PG-13, so you got to kind of keep it cool. Can I say cock? Dave? Can I say cock?
Sure.
What about titty balls?
Yes. Say it again.
Titty balls. Am I killing? How about now? That was weird. So I did just move out here from DC. Been here for a few months now. I did this, which was weird. I moved out here, right? And I got a place, and then I did this. I remained unemployed for 6 months. You guys ever do that? Burned through my life savings? You ever go broke? My landlord's like, I might have to evict you, and I was like, no, I don't have a job, so I can't pay rent. Apparently, not his problem. Dickweed. Can I say dickweed? Too late. But I have a job now, I got a job. You guys have jobs? Hey, did you drink all 4 of those beers, man?
It's my lady right here.
This guy goes, that's my lady, and slaps her in the eye. I was curious. Whose lady is that? Could someone please claim their property by slapping it in the eyeball? That'd be good, just to clear things up. You guys got jobs? What do you do? You fundraise. That's boring. What do you do?
I don't fundraise.
That's vague. What do you do?
I don't have a job.
I'm normally more of a crowd work comic, but you guys are killing me softly. What do you guys do?
Student.
Jesus Christ. Anybody with a real job, just shout it out. I'm serious. What did you say, Carpenter? This is fucking irrelevant at this point. But I got a job, and I went in the interview, and the guy interviewing me asked me like a very stereotypical question. He goes, what do you think is your greatest weakness? And I instinctively, I was like, oh, well, I'm not great at multitasking. And he goes, well, as far as I'm concerned, you're hired. Which was good news, but I was a little nervous because the job I just got was driving a trolley and giving tours of downtown Chicago. So I have to hold a steering wheel with 32 people in the back and talk on a microphone like this. It's kind of, it's sort of like multi-tat. You got to do more than. I'll read the next joke now. No, but I do. I really do. I drive a trolley. I give tours of downtown Chicago. We get a lot of Asian tourists on the trolley. You know what? Asians love trolleys. They really do. You know what they don't love? Speaking English. Not popular. They speak a lot of not English. I don't know if you guys have ever driven around downtown Chicago for 2 hours telling jokes to a bunch of people who don't speak the same language. It's pretty boring. I know. Ridiculous. But I have I moved from DC, my girlfriend's still out there, she's still finishing college. So we're doing like the long distance relationship. To understand some of these anecdotes, which I will relay to you thusly, you need to know, so she's a great girl. She's kind of like spiritual, she's big into like crystals and analyzing dreams and things of this nature. And so she always wants me to tell my dream to her, but I'm like a little nervous because I don't really know what she's gonna read into it, so I'm always like, I don't remember what my dream was. And then she's like, well, you should keep a pen and pad right by your paper, or by your bed. And I was like, oh, the pen ran out of ink. And she's like, well, use a pencil. And I was like, the lead broke. And I'm like, that was useless. And it goes on like that. So then she tells me her dreams, and I found out unfortunately, that I'm fairly whipped the other day when she was telling me a dream. To understand this story, you need to understand two things. I grew up in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and my girlfriend, her name is Raquel. Did someone cheer? Good. You? I can't see because there are lights right in my eyes. Whatever. Her roommate's name is Carmen. That's the other half. Okay, so she's really upset, and she's like, she's mad at me because I don't pick up the phone when she calls. And to be fair, it's nothing against her. I just never pick up the phone when anybody calls. But she doesn't know that, so she gets really upset. And then she told me all this dream she had. And she was like, you know, something happened, and Carmen and I were kidnapped, and this is really what her dream was. She's like, we were sexually molested in White Bear Lake, and I didn't call you. And she was really upset. I know, she was really upset at me because she didn't trust me enough in her dream to call me. And I go, I was like, I'm sorry. At this point, I'm apologizing for something I never did in a dream. You guys see how whipped that is? And she was really upset, and she continued to tell me that she went on to call Carmen's dad. And I was like, and I'm like a jerk, and I was like, why were you calling Carmen's dad? And she's like, because you wouldn't answer the phone. And I was like, but why do you have Carmen's dad's number? And she's like, that's not the point right now. And I was like, I know it's not the point, but it's kind of a ridiculous scenario, don't you think? And she's like, it's not ridiculous, you don't pick up the phone. And I was like, okay, but someday we'll look back on this and we'll laugh. She's like, whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I apologize again. And then later on in the conversation, she was like, we moved on from that or whatever, we mended those fences. And she was talking about this project she was working on, and she's like, hey, can you edit my paper? And I go, why don't you have Carmen's dad do it? Here's the moral of that story, kids. Some days, not 10 minutes later, the same conversation. Not amused. That's not funny! Not funny.
Not funny.
So apparently, judging by the situation here, I'm a stand-up comedian. Which is weird, it sounds very pretentious. I don't like to say it. Like when people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I tell jokes. I say that, it sounds less forced or whatever. But I was out with some buddies one time, we were rock climbing at this gym. And I guess, well, I needed there were three of us and I needed a guy to belay me. So they had this other guy, Dave, belay me. And I guess they at some point told Dave that I was a stand-up comedian. And so Dave belayed for me for a while, for a spell. And afterwards, apparently, unbeknownst to me, he went up to my friends and he goes, didn't seem that funny. I was holding a string with his life on the other end. And all I can say is he didn't think I was that funny. Well, fuck you, Dave. Can I say, fuck you? Can we edit that out in post? Is there post on this? All right, I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. I look weird. Have you guys ever seen V for Vendetta? Yeah. Yeah? I haven't seen it, but I guess I look like one of the guys in the movie. And and this actually happened to me the other day at an open mic. I had one guy come up to me real excited. He's like, you look like V for Vendetta. We're bonding. There's a lot of this. And I like played along. I was like, yeah, it's really funny. It's like a funny thing. And then another guy came up to me and like did the exact same thing. And I don't even remember. He was like, oh, you look like V. Were you trying to look like V, man? Because you like V? I don't remember this, but apparently I just stared at him. Because I just had this conversation. So I was like, I already did this. So I was just like... Are you still talking? Has my fly been down this whole time? Unfucking believable. All of you guys are staring at me like a fool and I got my fly down. Fuck this, I don't need this. Thank you. Thank you.
Jesse Baltes, everybody. He's got to get to a sword fight with a six-fingered man, so...